Hi parents! So I wanted to talk to you today about a way that you can help your child maintain some routine and schedule while we are at home during home instruction. So at preschool we use a lot of visual schedules that indicate every single part of the day, and if something is going to change up then we add an additional picture to help the kids understand something new is happening today, and it usually is a very exciting thing for them when the schedule changes up. So there are lots of ways that you could make a beautiful schedule by printing and laminating and velcroing things together. But if you're like me, you don't have all those resources at home. So I wanted to show you some ways that you can just make a very low-tech schedule that can still help your child kind of maintain that routine. So I just drew a little schedule. I did the numbers over here, and you could do more or less numbers. If you want to do the whole day on one sheet and that works for your child, that'd be great. If not, you could break it up into the morning and into the afternoon. So I just drew a little picture for wake up. I drew a picture of a bed, eat breakfast, I have some cereal, get dressed with some clothes, do schoolwork. Since a lot of our teachers are posting things on YouTube, we might be watching, or we might be reading a book or doing a workbook, eat lunch, play outside, maybe on a bike, and eat dinner. So you can modify this to be relevant to your child and what you guys are doing every single day, and it's totally up to you how many things work and what items work. Okay. You can choose to draw this for your child if you want them to look really good, or you could just let your kid draw their own pictures. You could say to them, draw a picture of breakfast. What does breakfast look like? What did you eat for breakfast today? And then they're kind of taking some ownership of their own schedule. So the simplest thing to do is after you draw this, you take a paper clip, or if you have a clothespin, and you're just going to clip it to the side. Go like this. The first thing we do is wake up. And then you tell your child, after they wake up and they walk downstairs, they can move the clip down here. Now it's time to eat breakfast. Breakfast is all done. What do we do next? We move it down, and it's time to get dressed. Simple enough. And the great thing about this is once you kind of teach your child a couple times, they can take ownership of it and do it independently. And a lot of times in preschool, we see that helps kids they're very excited about what's coming next, and it helps kind of their understanding and their independence with that schedule. Another thing you could do with this same drawn schedule is take your piece of paper and put it into a Ziploc bag. Okay. So now this kind of works like some lamination might, or like a whiteboard, and you can take a dry erase marker and you can, after the activity is done, draw a check. So your child can wake up in the morning, come downstairs, check, I woke up. What's next? Oh, I finished breakfast. Check. What's next? It's time to get dressed. Now it's time to do schoolwork, etc. The nice thing about using it this way is you can erase. So my dry erase marker has an eraser on the back. You could also use a tissue, a napkin, your hands if you really want to. Erase it, and then it's the same for tomorrow, and you can reuse it. Okay. Another way you can make the schedule is using just some tin foil. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see, but I made similarly. I drew some pictures. We wake up, breakfast, very similar pictures to what I have on the piece of paper. This one I tried to do a little bit scattered to see. Sometimes kids really benefit from going in order. If you want to give your kid a little bit more flexibility, but say you have to do these 5 things today, then you can kind of let them lay it out in any way that they want. So then let's say that then they wake up, they come downstairs, they take their eraser, and you just kind of wipe it off the tin foil and it's gone. And then they decide, you know what, I'm going to get dressed next. They go get dressed, then they're all done. You can erase it right from there. It's hard to do while holding up. And then they say, you know, I'm still not hungry for breakfast. I think I'm going to start my schoolwork. So they go down here, they do their schoolwork. When they're all done, they look at it and they say, oh, what do I have left to do today? Well, at some point I have to take a bath, I have to eat dinner, and I get to play with Mom. That's down here if you can tell. Okay? So the one thing about this is then tomorrow or the night before, you're going to have to redraw all your pictures. So if you have a child that really enjoys doing that, then this might be a fun activity. If that's going to be frustrating for them, you might want to do something that you can reuse the same thing over and over again so that they're not getting tired of drawing the same things or making their own little pictures. So there are lots and lots of different ways you can do it. These are just kind of some low-tech ways that I came up with things in my house. But here are some other ideas that if you have a little bit more materials and want to put more time into it, you could definitely make some of these. We have some that are using magnets, and so she's just checking them off with magnets, and you see here she's using a morning schedule and an evening schedule. And then we also have this one, which is all cut out. So she did draw, she didn't print these ones, but she's cutting it out and looks like there's probably Velcro, so the child would be removing it from the schedule. This blue one down here, it looks like they are Velcroed up, and so the child pulls down the little folder every time to know what activity is next, and then they move on to the next one. And then this paper one is one that we use at school a lot. We have the student move over the activity when they're all done and just kind of shows all the things they have to do and all the things that are left. So have fun making your schedules. If you have any questions or there's anything I can do to help, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to work on individualizing a schedule for you and your child. Good luck.